Awesome. Okay, it's good to see you guys on the call. How many of y'all saw the video that I sent out about that coach? I know Justin did.
I did.
Good,
It
good,
was
good.
pretty intense.
Yeah, I'm glad that I let him do it, not me. So I don't have to do that. That's my attitude, though. Attitude, man. And, we have some new people on here. So I just, want everyone to really understand the attitude of building an agency and recruiting has to be all in all the time. And you can't just sort of do it. If you want to build a huge business where your income's not just dependent on you all the time and you're truly free from financial worry, you got 10, 20,000 a month coming in based on a bunch of agents feeding their families through this business, it gives you a tremendous sense of security, but you got to earn that right to build a business that allows you to do that. My question though is, what if it took you 5 years to get to that point where you have 20 grand, 25,000 a month coming in, whether you do anything or not? Is it worth waiting 5 years? Is it worth building all that time? It could happen 2 years from now. It could happen 1 year from now. But if it took you 5 years, do you think it would have been worth your time to develop that kind of override income? And I think, any sane person would say, yeah, that would be worth it. So it's not something you have to do forever, but it's something that you have to do if you want to create a lifestyle that will afford you those choices, to go travel with your family anywhere you want to go. And that when you're away on vacation, your bank account is still filling in with override income. $5,000 a week, that's not bad money by anyone's standards, based on you not doing anything. It's based on you doing something early in your business to build it to the point where you're doing something else. So, it is such an important concept to understand so that you know why you're doing what you're doing and you know what you're willing to sacrifice, right? So it's not let's just try it and see. It's, what do I want? What am I willing to do to get it? What am I going to sacrifice, right? One of the biggest things you're going to have to sacrifice is your comfort zone. One of the biggest things you have to sacrifice, your comfort zone. So get used to being uncomfortable. The second one is you're going to have to sacrifice your ego, because there's going to be people that know more than you about how to build a business, and you're just going to have to suck it up, buttercup, and listen to those people that have your best interests in mind, and they're going to tell you some uncomfortable things. But are you willing to take it because you want to get better? I didn't care what Andy was was going to do to me or say to me. I just wanted to get the results of the suggestions, quote unquote suggestions, that he was giving me. And he's actually the master at knowing what I need to hear and how I need to hear it in order to, do what I need to do in this business, right? So you got to sacrifice your comfort zone. You got to sacrifice your ego. You're going to have to sacrifice money, meaning, and invest money into this business. So instead of, buying that nice car, buying that nice home, reinvest some money back into your business so you can leverage that to hire more agents to bring into your agency, into your company, right? You're going to have to be smart about that and not spend your money on frivolous things, that you're reinvesting it. You're doubling down. So you're going to have to sacrifice that mentality, the mentality of spend what I got to the mentality of invest what I have to even leverage it for bigger and better in the future. Here's one thing that it seems to catch every agent who wishes and desires to build a business is they get it put into a position where they should have built the business 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And all of a sudden they're put in a position where I need to make the money now. And then they think they're going to build their business all of a sudden from nothing so they can get that income back that they've lost for, their job or whatever, right? It catches builders by surprise when they have regrets. They regret like, oh man, I should have slammed this thing early because now I'm in a position where I need that override residual income now, or else I'm going to have to go back in the field and do all of it again. It's the future that you decide, that future of frustration and worry that you should have done today what you didn't do. And I promise you, every single person on this call, you're going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, you're going to wish you started building it today on April 26, 2024. You're going to wish you did. You're going to have the regret going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Alex, hey, I need to build this business right away. What do I need to build the business? And I say, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I told you 4 years ago, April 24th, 2024, April 26th, 2024, at 1:06 p.m. Eastern time, that you should have got off your ass and start building this business. But now you don't have those choices anymore. You're going to have to go find a job. You're going to have to put a resume together. You're going to have to go find someone who's willing to pay you. But Alex, I've been in insurance. I haven't been in the workforce for 5 years. All I can get is a clerical job that pays $2,000 a month. What can I tell you, dude? What can I tell you? You should have listened to me back 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but you chose not to. That's cool. You chose not to. You live by your free will. God gave you free will to exercise. You certainly have the free will to be broke and be a loser if you want. I can't prevent you from making bad decisions. Or you can do the things we recommend, like coming to the event. Like, dadgummit, if you are on this call, you all should have a ticket to the event. But Alex, I can't afford it. That's even double the reason why you should make it to family reunion August 2nd through the 4th. And you're serious about building a business? How can you build a business of getting people to these events that we do 4 times a year to get them believing in the business, believing in the success around them when you don't even have a ticket? Like, what kind of example are you? How can you bring a team there? Because that's part of this building thing. How many people are you going to bring to the event in family reunion? The tickets are $249 until Saturday or Sunday. Sunday, they go up another $100, $150. They're $249 right now. You can even put it on a payment plan. It's $100 finance charge, but hey, put it on a payment plan. If you're serious about building a business, I don't care what excuse you have. You need to be there. You absolutely need to be there. So there you go. I said something you have to do that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. And so here's what most winners will do. They're not going to come up with an excuse. They're going to come up with how they can overcome whatever is holding them back. They're going to figure it out. They're going to buy the ticket on a credit card, then figure out how to make that, the right decision, by backing it up with recruiting, back it up with sales. Oh, by the way, just to inform you, we do sell life insurance. You make $500 per sale. You'll make double of what the ticket costs if you just made one sale. Okay. So let me remind you that we sell life insurance. Okay. And that by selling someone a life insurance policy, you can make $500. Okay. I know, it's what a concept, right? Okay. Anyway, that's sort of my preamble to the whole notion of what you're trying to accomplish. What are you trying to accomplish? You cannot go back in the past and wish that you could have started building a business when you first got started, a week ago, because we're talking now. So let's get started now, or a year ago, or 10 years ago. We're talking right now. So let's put the plan in place. The past doesn't matter. What matters is what you do from this point on, right? And if you don't do anything building your business every day, that's another week or month that you're going to be in job slavery, okay? You don't show this business to another new human being with eyeballs to see this business, that's another week to a month of you slaving away at your job. It's up to you, okay? Anyway, I hope you get the urgency, because I'm trying to just preach urgency all the time. You can have so much from this business. I think what a lot of agents do is they suffer from lack of vision. Without vision, people perish. When I got in the business, I made over 100 grand my first year. I doubled it my second year. I doubled it my third year. I doubled it my fourth year. I doubled it my fifth year. You do the numbers. Started at 100,000. Yeah. And the only reason I was able to do that, because I hired everybody and their brother. I just went crazy recruiting, and it kept growing. And not only did I recruit, I got other people to recruit. So I got other people building their business, because see, we believed in the opportunity. We believed that this thing was going to get us free. And by virtue of the work that I put in those 5 years, that's why I've, made 8 figures of income in this business in the 24 years I've been doing it. You all have that same opportunity, if not better, here. So the question is, what do you believe you can make? Because every single one of you within the next 2 years can put together a group that you're making $500,000 a year easily. Can you wrap your head around that? That's what, 5 times, that's 40,000 a month. Yeah, it's about 40,000 a month, 10,000 a week. Can you imagine making 10,000 in overrides a week? It can happen. It has happened already. We've done it. I've done it. Patrick has done it. You can do it too. Can you even imagine that? Can you imagine the choices that 10 grand a week coming in, whether you're working or not, week after week after week? Imagine the choices you'll have. Every single one of you on this call has that opportunity to do that if you're willing to work, if you're willing to get your mind right. See, the problem where you are today, and the reason why you have your bank account, is because of how you think. Now, if something's going to change in the next 12 months, you got to change how you think. And then what you do, so how you think and what you do is going to spell the difference between you being in the exact same position 12 months from now. So you got to let yourself go to the teaching and the opportunity. You have to change it up here, okay? You have to. You have no choice. if you want a better life. You guys know you've been grinding. Some of you have been with us for 3 years, 4 years, and you're still in the same spot. Well, my question for you is, why haven't you changed the way you think? How many events have you gone to? Not all of them. I guarantee you're still thinking with the same old thought process that got you in the same rut you're in because you haven't gone to events. You might go to 1 or 2, but then you blow off the rest. And I keep saying every 90 days, I say, you got to show up. You got to be there. How dare you even build a group if you're not coming to the events? How hypocritical is that? How incongruent is that for your team? For you to build a team and you not being at events, it's just super hypocritical. All right, so let's go into teaching. I'm going to get off that, cut you guys a break. It's been 14 minutes. Let's get into some stuff that will blow you away. And the reason is I'm dusting off some old stuff from 10 years ago, 2014. I'm dusting off a PowerPoint. Let me share it with you. Patrick will remember this because you'll remember the graphics. Patrick, you remember this slideshow? We have taught this, and this comes from the fantastic book by Hubert Humphrey called The Magic of Compound Recruiting. You can't get that book. I have an original printed version of it that cost me like $250 online. I promise you can't get that anymore. You search online, you can't get original copy. I have an original copy, The Magic of Compound Recruiting, and I have it in a safe place, never exposed to anyone that can steal it, because that's how incredible the teaching is. Anyway, I don't know why this is so old. I don't think it'll even go into a slideshow mode. Oh, it already is. Okay. 2014, this is 10 years ago. And so this is based on the book, The Magic of Compound Recruiting. And this is really one of Hubert Humphrey, by the way, is an Integrity partner. He's got one of the hugest deals ever in the history of Integrity Marketing Group as far as them buying him out. And if you are familiar, the organization that he started with was A.L. Williams. He started in A.L. Williams, and then he broke off and created his own World Marketing Alliance, WMA, which then turned into WFG later after he sold it. But his roots go back then, and we used to listen a lot to his CDs. He's got these great CDs on that builder's mentality. And so at the end of this call, I'm going to share with you a link, a Dropbox link, where you can download a PDF version of The Magic of Compound Recruiting. So you can actually read the book yourself. It's a PDF version, okay? And like pretty much everything in this slideshow, we'll go over the concepts in the book, but I'm going to cover it here because I think in order for you to have the right mentality of building a business, you have to have the right mentality of applying multi-level concepts to life insurance and financial services. Now, we're not a true multi-level marketing because we don't market through hiring agents like Primerica. We have a lead program. We have a variety of lead programs. So we make sales on our life insurance leads, but we recruit and build agents that want to partake of our lead programs to sell life insurance. Okay, so that's where we're different. We're not a multi-level marketing to market, but we are a multi-level pay system that will afford you the same payment concepts of residual income and override income that multi-level does. So there are a lot of great things about MLM, but we take the best things of the MLM concept and apply it to financial services. Okay, so let's kind of talk about what it is that we do, right? So this idea of marketing in financial services is the creation of the outlet and the movement of the product simultaneously. So the mentality is Ray Kroc with McDonald's created McDonald's franchises. We call them outlets. And then he moves burgers, fries, and shakes through those outlets in a very standardized way. Then he creates for himself a royalty, money that's paid back to him for setting business owners up in a McDonald's franchise, right? This is what it looks like. So what you're doing in our business is you're creating outlets. What are outlets? Outlets are life insurance agents that sell life insurance off of our lead program. So this is you. And when you get in our business and start building a team, you start bringing people to the table, right? Agents in your hierarchy, agents in your agency that are in this business to create life insurance sales. And what you do is you supply them with leads and you supply them with contracts with the carriers, and we actually supply them all with training on how to convert. And what comes out the other end are families that are protected and income for everyone. Individual personal production income for the agent, and of course, override income for you. Very simple concept, but until you really understand what it is we're doing, it's not going to give you the focus on what you need to do when you start recruiting people. You're creating outlets. You're creating people that are independent, that are selling insurance to feed their families, to pay their mortgage, to send their kids to college, they need the business. And what's the beautiful thing about this when you think about it is they honestly don't care. They appreciate you as an upline. You provided them training, or they've hooked you up with the training resources and the lead resources. They appreciate you doing that, but they're not working for you. They are in the business to provide for their families. You can't find a better motivation of someone in your group because your income is locked in. If they're feeding their family, paying their mortgage, sending their kids to college, to private school, through this business, your 5%, 10%, 20%, 50% override is locked in. Does that hit you like, it should hit you like a ton of bricks? You should get fired up right now because, oh my gosh, they are working for themselves. They're not working for me. I'm not their boss. They're independent business owners that are working for themselves. That should freaking blow you away. That should blow you away. You guys are seeing my slideshow, right? Did someone say yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I remember the TWC I did, or activity call, I thought I was sharing my slideshow and it was just me talking. So anyway, that's good. Thank you. So I love this book, The Magic of Compound Recruiting, because he brings in all these quotes. Victor Hugo, make no small plans, for they have no powers to stir the souls of men. If you got a wimpy ass dream that's so small, all you're trying to do is, Alex, if I can make $2,000 a month and overrides, that would rock. It's like, well, okay, how inspiring is that going to be to anybody? But Alex, I even haven't made that yet. It's not about you. It's about the credibility of the business for agents that are currently making 10 grand a week, 20,000 a week. It's not your credibility, what you've done. It's what the business has done for other people right now doing it. And so if you can't buy into that vision of what you can create for yourself, no one's going to follow you because your vision for yourself is so puny, you can't hardly even expose this opportunity with any kind of confidence. Now, I'm not saying you can make $1 million doing this thing. I'm not saying that salesy, multi-level-ish type of approach. It's you saying, we got the best opportunity around. We got an opportunity to sell insurance, Medicare, supplemental benefits, estate planning, annuities, retirement planning. You pick your adventure. We can develop you from making $500 a sale to $50,000 a sale. Is that cool that we have a progressive development program for you? In your mind, you're communicating with confidence because that's something you're tapped into yourself. You know, don't think of this as a small thing. It's a huge thing for you because when you communicate it with that vision for yourself, they're going to tap into that vision and want to follow you. Remember, recruiting and building is the idea of you creating your leadership because of your vision and what you learn going through the process of building a team. A leader is someone who has people following them. If you're a leader that has someone following you, then you're just taking a walk. So let's think to achieve greatness in the business. Number one, you got to think strategically. This is the whole idea of you have to picture it in your own mind before it manifests itself. Can you see yourself with 10 rocking legs doing $250,000 each a month in premium, and you're getting a 10% override? Can you picture that? Because all it is you doing the work to find the people and find the people who want to build a business like that. See, Alex, can I find 10 people who want to build their business to 250,000? Start with one person who wants to build their business to 25,000, agency manager. And then they find 10 other agents to do what they did. And guess what? They're 250,000. That's just one of your legs. It's a progressive process over time, but you got to be able to see it in your head. So you got to build it in your mind. Then you got to draw it out on paper of what you want to accomplish. I don't care what it is. It could be, regional manager. It could be EVP. It could be whatever, but you have to draw it out and then you have to focus on it. And then you start filling the circles with names of people that you brought on. Doesn't mean that that person is actually going to be that circle, but over time, you're going to find the people that fill in your vision for your group. Have you ever done a visioning exercise where you can touch, taste, smell your group in the future? You have to do that. This is how Andy and I and Mike and Patrick, and that's how we built our business because we saw it on paper already. Second one, think strategically, commit specifically. This is the toughest word that we're using. It's a 6-letter word called commit, right? Look, if you're married and you're committed to your spouse, you know that you have probably 50% chance, right, of making it. Right? What's divorce rate? Over 50% now. So my spin on that is 50% weren't committed. The other 50% were. Are you committed? Here's the thing. Are you committed to create an expectation in your culture of your team of selling life insurance. Like, you don't have to be the number one producer. I was the number one producer in our team for a long time, but I didn't care whether or not, because Andy Albright wasn't. He was never the number one person producer. But what Andy made up for in that was his leadership ability, the ability to get other people to be top producers. Unless you have that skill, my suggestion is you sell insurance. And some of you on here hasn't sold a lick of insurance in months or years. And I'm like, what are you doing on this call? Because how dare you think you could build a team without you putting numbers on the books? That to me is hypocritical as hell. How do you sell this opportunity when you can't even be on the dadgum leaderboard every week? It's simple. Get leads, call them, book appointments, sell insurance. Oh my gosh, it's not that hard. Mary Donovan is taking all excuses away. You know what I'm saying? Like, put the dadgum numbers on the books. And then the other thing is committing to getting wide quickly. You can't do the onesie, twosie, dance with me, Susie recruiting. You got to slam the width. And I'm going to go into diagrams of what to create in your head of building width on, and building width with quality people, not width with knuckleheads that no-show you all the time, that can barely speak English, right? Would you be proud to show, your last 10 recruits to Andy Albright? They're like all, 67-year-olds, their third time they've been doing insurance, and they just got a third win to want to, make money selling insurance. They're 67. Woohoo, man. You can hear what Andy would say about that group. The whole idea of getting wide is, and I'm going to talk about getting deep. If you can find 7 to 10 key leaders that produce 100,000 a month, meaning them and their teams, oh my gosh, that's kind of the $1 million base shop mentality. You're going to make crazy money, I promise you. But you have to see it in your head. You got to visualize what a group like this looks like, right? Think strategically, commit specifically to things you need to accomplish in growing your team, then finally focus constantly. You got to manage the activity of the people on your team. You got to get them plugged into leads and make sure that they're dialing their leads. And then you got to focus on what are they producing on their dials, right? You got to focus on what is motivating them. Why are they doing this? Is it for their family? Is it just for personal pride? Is it they need to make, 5,000 a month? Whatever it is, you got to use their motivation to your advantage by tapping on it all the time and then executing. Why do we need you if you're not going to execute building your business? We don't need you. It's sad. It's great that you're great selling. We love you. Keep selling. But if you pretend to be building and you don't reproduce yourself through other people and not executing that game plan, then I'm sorry, but you're great, valuable producer, but you're nothing more than that to me. Now, if you produce and you're building other people in your team and you're bringing other people to the table, and they produce half as much, a third as much, then because you're duplicating yourself, you're super valuable to me. I will do anything. I will move mountains to keep you going because you're producing more after yourself. It's kind of like you'll know a tree by its fruit. You're creating fruit because you're executing the game plan. So to achieve greatness, think strategically, commit specifically, and focus constantly, the key requirements of builders. And this is your opportunity to really ask yourself these questions. Are you really, yes, Amber, amen, sister, you are right on. Great builders of the future, they have a clear mental picture of being the leader of thousands. It's a crazy notion, isn't it? When you think that when you go on stage to speak, you've got 1,000 of your agents screaming at the top of their lungs, standing on their chairs, screaming for you because you are their conduit to changing their lives in a significant way. Literally thousands. We raise your hand on stage for being a senior board member, executive board member. You've got your team that you found your top 10 leaders that got you 100 people in their teams each, and they're all doing 100,000 of premium a month. And that's the mental picture you need to have. Thousands, leader of thousands. Expand your mind on what the possibilities are. A great leader prepares a plan to reach your goals. Shown on page 36 of Think and Grow Rich. I'm not going to go into it. I have the book. Oh man, I don't have it handy. Go to page 36, Think and Grow Rich. What's important about having a plan is that you can't measure what you don't track. And how can you track if you don't have a goal, right? And so your goal will inform you of what you need to do ultimately on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, did I do everything I could do today to go towards my goal, right? And then you have to have a mind steeled against all the outside influences. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. That's a whole hour-long teaching in the of itself. Great builders determine how many prospects, interviews, recruits, leads, sales, agents, agency managers it'll take. And if you don't know how to do it, I will help you think about it properly, okay? You know the numbers you need. These are all, key performance indicators. You know how to measure your business. I did cover that last week, actually. Great builder determines how much energy and time it will take and what things must be eliminated or sacrificed. This goes to what I was saying before. It's going to take energy. So are you conserving your energy? Are you wasting your energy on stuff that doesn't matter, on people that don't matter, right? You only have a certain amount of energy every day. And when you deal with negative, with people that aren't worth your time, it steals energy from you pouring into people that deserve your time and deserve your mental focus and energy. Do you see how that works? The enemy, Satan, will try to throw darts your way to have you focus on things that don't mean anything, to steal your energy, so that when it's go time to show the opportunity to someone or talk to and interview them or to give them a vision for themselves and their family, you don't have it because it's been sucked away in things that don't matter, right? Great builder, they set daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and multi-year deadlines for accomplishment. So let me just tell you this right away. You're never going to be where you thought you were going to be. But if you do this and set your deadlines of what you want to accomplish, I promise you're going to be further along than if you didn't do it, right? Like my goal today is to show this thing to 3 new people, 3 new set of eyeballs that are going to see this opportunity. And my goal this week is to do 15. You can't control whether or not they get in. What you can control is showing to 15 people a week. How many per month? That's what, 30, 60 a month? Then how many years? 60, 720 a year? You have to be very specific. So you got to paint the picture in your mind very specifically in order for you to achieve it. Anything left out of the picture will be an incomplete goal, will be an incomplete activity, will be an incomplete motivation for you to accomplish if you don't exactly know how the entire picture is going to look. That's why you got to revisit that picture in your mind all the time. Great builder develops a business plan. What's your business plan? It's this. It's a process. What is your process to recruit people that you can duplicate, that people can duplicate you on? What is your process to train them? What is your process of developing them from being a life insurance grinder to a team builder, right? To a retirement planner, to an estate plan implementer? Do you have a process? Do you have a way to talk about it to people? Everything begins with communication. Are you working on your communication skills? Are you figuring out how to work with different types of people? Because I promise you, if you are only relatable to a third of the people because of you only have that in common, with a third of the people you talk to, then you're severely limiting your business and your opportunity. You got to be able to motivate, train, relate to every type of person that comes in the door. That is the key for you making millions versus you making 10,000, right? Great builders, they make enough personal sales, training sales, and personal recruits to keep the spread balanced. This ensures sufficient cash flow. This is actually recruiting 404. It's something I can't get into now, something we can talk about later, but the idea is to build a balanced business. While you need to serve the people that are fired up about building this business, you need to spend time with the people that deserve your time, right? Not the people that want your time, okay? And the more you can spread out your business in width and then drive depth, you're going to be mega profitable because you're not dependent on 1 or 2 legs. You got 5 to 10 that are rocking at some level, duplicating you. And the more that you can spread it out, the less problem you're going to have on commission creep. We call it commission creep, where someone's, right up against your commission rate. And then there could be a point where they achieve your commission rate. You make 0 overrides on them. Well, that's not true. Typically, if they're going to be that big, they're going to be GLOW eligible. So you at least make 8% of them, no matter if they're the same commission rate. That's the value of a business like ours, because you don't truly lose them if you build it properly. So if you do it properly, you teach your people to do it properly, you're going to lock in your GLOW bonuses and you never have to worry about commission creep. Okay, so that's an important idea to think about while you're building your team. Never just sit on one big leg, man. Find 5 to 10 that are growing. Great builders, you have to see it in order to seize it. You have to see it before you seize it. Your vision, large number of outlets, network of outlets of agents that are producing, a large base of multi-product using clients. So this is the Megan Wood idea. It's great to teach an agent how to sell one life insurance policy, but imagine teaching that agent how to multiply what they're doing with that one client, like selling them accidental, hospital indemnity, Medicare, right? And then they're doing the ERS referral system. So one sale turns into 5 more. And imagine those 6 clients are buying on average 3 to 5 products each. So instead of just being happy that one agent sold one life insurance policy get fired up when you can teach one agent to sell 5 different clients with the IRS and then 5 each. That's 25 products. Think about that. So when you create your network of outlets, there are ways to multiply the production per outlet by teaching them how to get involved in all the other things we're doing. So that's part of the development program. You see what we're trying to do? We're trying to help you maximize the people that you're with. So you're not going to be in this rotating door business of building a team that just you're hiring more than quit. In our business, we're going to teach you how to hire them and then helping them become super effective in what they're doing and selling way more on the same number of leads that they're buying. And then tapping them into the vision of building so then they duplicate themselves, right? It just starts compounding. So when you're thinking about building your business, there are 2 focal points: focusing on more and more direct personal legs. These are people direct to you. And then more people, everyone making an additional sale per week. Like if they're already doing 5 sales a week, can they do 6? If they're doing 1 sale a week, can they do 2? Can we get them selling that extra policy? Can we get them investing instead of $250 a week to $500 a week? Can we convince them that they're going to double their income if they go, or more, if they go from 250 to 500? Can you imagine if you've taught your agents how to double their lead investment? What's going to happen? Your volume's going to go up. Do you see what happens when you are focused on duplicating proper habits in the people that you bring on board your team? So 2 focal points: bringing on more direct personal legs month after month, right? And then teaching your people or plugging them into all the calls where people are talking about all the different sales opportunities that we have. It is the compounding of lots of people doing a little bit that's going to earn you a big income. Look, you're never going to have a team where everyone does $25,000 a month in premium. But what you will have on your team is you're going to have 2 or 3 that do $25,000. You're going to have 2 or 3 that do $15,000. You're going to have 2 or 3 that do $10,000. You're going to have 2 or 3 that do $5,000. Actually, you're going to have about the same amount of people doing 5,000 and below more than you are going to have all the other, statistically. 70% of your team will do 5,000 and below. The other 30% will do 5,000 and above. I've got the numbers to back it up. I know what I'm talking about. Visionary Leadership by Brett Nannis. Great visionary leaders like Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King been those able to develop a unique vision that attracts commitment, inspires people, revitalizes organizations, and mobilizes the resources needed to turn vision into reality. Modern leaders know that there is no more powerful engine for driving an organization than an attractive, worthwhile, achievable vision of the future that is widely held. So let me summarize that for you. We get more of you believing in what you can accomplish with this awesome opportunity. If all of us believe that's just the way it works, then it's easier to build our businesses. We're going to get twice the results on half the effort. Right now, what I'm doing with every breath in my body is to get you to believe more. So I'm doing twice the work and getting half the results. If I can get you believing more and visioning more for yourself and you truly believing in the opportunity that you have your hands on, oh my gosh, the whole organization is going to blow up because everyone believes. No truer quote that applies right now to the alliance in general. Okay, how do you maximize your profit centers? Okay, what are profit centers? These are the outlets that you're putting in place, right? But your profit center in your organization, your business, how do we maximize that profit? There are 3 ways to build your organization. We talked about this before. Building with, which are direct contracts to you. Building depth, which is finding an agent for an agent, for an agent, for an agent. You're building it deeper with people that they know. And then, so there are people that just do with. All they do is put in with, but they never build depth. So they've got a very shaky organization because it's the replacement business. Then you got people that hire one agent and then you just jam that leg down. And all of a sudden that leg starts blowing up in volume and you're not making much of an override because you have that thing called commission creep. You got a big ass organization and you bring 100 people to conferences, except all those 100 people are in one leg. I promise you, you're not going to be very fired up. The idea is to do both, walk and chew gum at the same time, build width and depth. Your number 1 job is to build width by personally hiring and training people who report directly to you. Now, don't get intimidated by the word training people. Training people doesn't mean that you are actually teaching them. Training people is you're plugging people into the opportunities to get the training, right? Alliance University, or going to hotspot meetings, or going to events. You might be brand new. You can only teach them how to actually log into the ARC. God bless you. I promise your upline upline has vested interest in helping your people get trained up to sell insurance. So lean on your upline who's got that financial incentive to help your people. Okay, it's a resource that you have available to you in a huge way to get your business built. So just say maximize your profit center. I love this slide. I remember when I built this slide. This is back when Alias was a big popular TV show. So a lot of these characters come from that. You need to binge it on it because it's one of the best shows. Okay, so this is a great example of a business that's really jamming, in my opinion. And you guys can have a business like this in 3 months and bring all these people to the conference. So with this profitability, so you primarily want to go wide. In other words, recruit number 1, recruit 2, 3, 4, and 5 are direct to your width. And you're making an override in each one of their production, their volume, right? What is depth? Depth is security. So when you get recruit number 2 someone, then you've locked number 2 in. Like our general rule of thumb is you don't have a recruit until you've recruited someone for them. Then you have you start a leg. Okay, but you don't have a leg until you drive it 4 deep. So this leg, recruit number 2's leg is only 1 deep, but recruit number 4, Jennifer, she's 3 deep. And statistically, when you're 3 deep, you've got one person in there that's going to be a superstar. So what you've done is you've increased your percentages of finding someone who's going to ignite that leg. You got to get it 4 deep. It's your number one objective when you hire someone in width is drive it 4 deep. And that's where you get security because you got people in that leg that are doing something, that whole leg's fired up and they're not going away anytime soon, right? So you go wide, secondarily, you go deep. You build a balanced business. Remember, you can't go deep until you go wide. You can't get depth in a leg you haven't started. I mean, that should be logically makes sense to you, right? You have to go wide first to go deep. The example, you can control the planter, but you can't control the plant. That's so true. All you can do is sow the seeds. God will grow them, right? Your job is not to make people into agency managers or make people rich. Your job is to find the people and then they determine whether they want to be rich or not. There's no pressure on you. It's the beauty of this business. No pressure on you. So let's take a look at this. Okay. This small mountain represents 5 people in width. So you can see you got 5 people in width. This is in the yellow. And then that organization can only get so wide. It's like sand on a table. Let's say you have a table that's 12 inches by 12 inches. And then you pour sand on it. You know that because the base is only 12 by 12, the sand peak is only going to go so high. I think probably, I don't know if my physics is correct, but I think the peak can only go 12 inches. You know, as wide as it is, if it's square, I think it could only, well, I don't know the properties of sand, but it can only, the more sand you pour in it, it's only going to go so high. Now check this out. If you build your base, if that table is now, 48 by 48, right? 4 feet instead of 1 foot by 1 foot, you put sand on that table, guess what? You can put more sand on that table than if your base is small. So notice, you're 5 wide, you can only get so big, but imagine if you're 50 wide, it's going to be huge. So which kind of business do you want to have? That's why you got to be constantly bringing people on and with, but not ignore depth. Help people get started, find someone for them. Law of averages. It's a simple concept. States that not everyone you hire will be a star. Some will quit. There's nothing you could do. It's very similar to our lead program. You get 10 leads, 2 are you're going to sell no matter how good or bad you are. Then there are going to be 2 that no matter how good or bad you are, there's 2 that you won't be able to sell. The money is in the 6 that are remaining. Will depend on you and your skill. And that's where you're profitable or you're losing money. Same thing with this. Not everyone you hire will be a star. Some will quit. Your job is to apply all your people skills and all your upline and everyone that's trying to support you for the people that don't quit. But here's the thing, never be the reason why people quit. Never be the reason why people won't thrive and grow with you. See, the worst thing you can have happen is the people that quit you go to someone else's group and they thrive and grow and they're a superstar. But because you are so limited in your thinking and in your vision and how you speak, because you don't go to events, you don't plug into the training, you don't hang around and get counseling for your upline, that you spew stuff that doesn't make sense to them. They know you're not the right person that they need to get mentorship from. You'll find someone else, right? The only way to overcome the negatives of the law of averages, because there are negatives, is the hardest power of law of large numbers. So the law of averages dictate that some will, some won't. The law of large numbers says, so what? Because you got law of large numbers, so what if people quit? Because you've overcome it by the numbers. Oh, my buddy, Hubert Humphrey. For those who are relentless in copying and doing exactly what the superstars of the past did, it is inevitable that they'll become the legends of the future. That is everyone on this call. If you're relentless in copying and doing exactly what the superstars of the past did, it's inevitable, immutable. You cannot stop it, that you'll become a legend in the future. Hubert Humphrey. Here's another quote. Remember, this book was written decades ago. This back when IBM was the king of the hill. IBM is what it is today for three special reasons. The first reason is that at the beginning, they had a very clear picture of what the company would look like when it was finally done. You might say, I had a model in my mind of what it would look like when the dream, my vision, was in place. The second reason was that once I had that picture, I then asked myself how a company which looked like that would have to act. I then created a picture of how IBM would act when it was finally done. Third reason IBM has been so successful was that once I had a picture of how IBM would look when the dream was in place and how such a company would have to act, then I realized that unless we began to act that way from the very beginning, we would never get there. In other words, act like a leader in the alliance before you even have a team. What does a leader in the alliance do? They show up at every event. What does a leader in the alliance do? They edify the upline, they edify the alliance, they edify Andy Albright. They talk good about other people. They never spew negative. They're always uplifting about everyone in the organization. They aren't subject to gossip. Start acting like a leader. Start dressing like a leader, and you will be a leader. You're going to have people that want to follow you, but you cannot. It's like fake it till you make it, right? Act like a leader, and you will become a leader. In other words, I realized that for IBM to become a great company, it would have to act like a great company long before it ever became one. From the very outset, IBM was fashioned after the template of my vision, and each and every day we attempted to model the company after that template. At the end of each day, we asked ourselves how well we did, discover the disparity between where we were and where we had committed to be. And at the start of the following day, we set out to make up for the difference. Are you doing that evaluation every day? What did I do today to get me closer to building my team, building my goal, building my vision? And the things I didn't do today to support that, how can I not do that tomorrow? It's a daily examination of your business conscience to move forward and learn from where you fell down today and make an improvement tomorrow. It's that idea of getting 1% better every day. Every day at IBM was a day devoted to business development, not doing business. This is huge. You get stuck working inside your business, checking pending, and doing all the little nitnoid things that you should hire out to an admin person. You're working in your business, but you're not working on your business. That's a huge difference. You're not working on your business, working in your business, but you're not working on your business. You got to pull your head out your butt and take a look at where you are and what you need to do. We didn't do business at IBM, we built one. Oh my gosh. This is IBM founder Thomas Watson. How about this one from McDonald's? We agreed that we wanted McDonald's to be more than just a name used by many different people. We wanted to build a restaurant system that would be known for food consistently, high quality, and uniform methods of preparation. Our aim, of course, was to ensure repeat business based on the system's reputation rather than on the quality of a single store operator. This would require a continuing program of education and assisting other operators and constant review of their performance. It would also require a full-time program of research and development. Do you see how they left no stone unturned? They wanted to make sure that what they were doing was teachable, learnable, and duplicatable. That's the key to building a business, being TLD. You got to have a system that's teachable. You got to have a system that's learnable. You have to have a system that's duplicatable. I knew in my bones that the key to uniformity would be in our ability to provide techniques of preparation that operators would accept because they were superior to methods that they could dream up for themselves. Man, we're not looking for ideas. We're looking for eyeballs. That's Andy Albright. At the heart, this is actually from book, Michael Gerber. At the heart of the turnkey revolution is a way of doing business that has the power to dramatically transform any company, from a condition of chaos to a condition of order, excitement, and continuous growth. The genius of McDonald's isn't franchising itself. The franchise system has been around for more than 100 years. The true genius of Ray Kroc's McDonald's franchise. It's the process that he created, and then getting operators to follow the process to produce consistent results of income. And the operators make money, Ray Kroc, McDonald's made money. It is the business format franchise that revolutionized American business. Individuals don't win, teams do. Walmart is just a spectacular example of what happens when people find a way to work together. The more you share profits with your associates, whether it's in salaries, incentives, or bonuses, or stacked discounts, the more profit will accrue to the company. Why? Because the way management treats the associates is exactly how the associates will then treat the customers. The way you treat your agents is how your agents will treat their agents, right? They only know what they see you doing. Jesus followed the Father. And so he gave us an example of how we need to treat each other because he's seen the Father. The Father and I are one. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father, right? If you see me, you've seen Andy Albright. Another business concept. I'd rather have a 1% of the efforts of 100 men than 100% of my own efforts, baby. Oh my gosh. It's the key for you to be financially free from worry. Okay, here's some, probably spent way too much time on that. Okay, here's some, I'm going to speed through this. I'm going to be a little bit longer. I hope you guys are okay with that. Actually, I can't because I've got a call I got to do. Okay, stay tuned. Next week, we're going to cover speed width. So we're going to go into more techniques, but I wanted to really share this mentality with you. Then we're going to do the rest of the slideshow next week, 1 o'clock Friday. Okay, man, God bless, gang. Thank you everybody for being on this call. And I hope I did record this. Anyway, I hope
you did.
Oh yeah, the link. So let me share that with you. You know what? Let me share that link with you. Okay, it's gonna be up there. It's gonna flash up here for a few seconds so get it right now. Click on it like right now so you can download it. All right. Then I'm gonna do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and get your event tickets. I'll give you a few more seconds. Seriously, I'm not joking. You need to get that ticket to Family Reunion. Go on the ARC, go to Connections, go to Alliance Hotspots, then click on Events, then click on Family Reunion. Get your ticket, $249 through Saturday. Sunday, the tickets go up by a bunch. Give yourself a shot, man. Give yourself a chance. I promise you, the event will make a difference. And what we're going to do, you get your ticket. I'm going to help you find people to bring there. We're going to help you build your business between now and then and get people for you at that conference. And that'll jumpstart your business like crazy. All right, gang. God bless. See you later.